Now Sports Network presents UCF football as the Knights host the Bulldogs from Sanford. It's the opening week of this 2009 college football season. Former Tampa Bay Buccaneer, 15-year veteran in the NFL, Mark Royals. And Mark, when you look at this UCF team, just from an offensive standpoint, they feel they've got the personnel in place, especially their quarterback and their running back.
Yeah, they're very excited about those two guys, and that was part of the problem last year. Offensively, they weren't able to close the deal late in some games. 4 and 8 could have easily been the other way around. Starting with Rob Calabrese, the sophomore quarterback, they're very excited about his spring, how well he's progressed. He's making better decisions, and they think he's going to be a true leader of that offense. And then, of course, you go to Brent Harvey, the sophomore running back, and over 500 yards rushing last year. He's a little bigger. He's not the kind of guy that's going to give you 30, 35 carries, but he's a guy they're very, very excited about, and they expect big things out of both of their young offensive weapons.
At halftime, it's 7-7, and we have a ball game.
Yeah, I think Coach O'Leary talked about it going into halftime. It's missed opportunities for them, but you've got to credit Sanford for coming in here, not being intimidated, going on the road, playing in a loud stadium. They've really represented themselves well in the first half.
I think this UCF quarterback situation and team approach in general got a little bit more interesting in that first half, Mark.
Yeah, I think it did, and switching quarterbacks sometimes can be a good thing. We'll see what they do in the second half. Very high on Rob Calabrese. I don't think that's changed. He made a lot of strides in the spring. Come out and see in the second half and see how they perform, but the first half, very shaky for UCF.
The Bulldogs actually took the UCF crowd out of this game in the early going.
They really did, and I thought it was important for them to come into a stadium like this and assert themselves early and not let the game get out of hand, and that's exactly what they've done. They got the early lead, they gave up the touchdown right before half, but all in all, they're probably feeling pretty good in the locker room at halftime. Yeah, it's a pretty even ball game. You look at the one turnover, and that's something the coaches will always talk about. You can't turn the ball over. But Coach O'Leary said going into halftime that you can't miss the opportunities when you have them. You leave a team like Sanford hanging around long enough, you never know what could happen. So they're trying to regroup at halftime, come back out and play better in the second half.
UCF Knights hosting the Memphis Tigers. It is UCF football on Bright House Sports Network. Good afternoon, everybody. Great to have you with us. I'm Drew Felios. UCF definitely needs to win this game. You don't want to say must win, especially in early October, but the winner of this game sees the light. The loser, it's going to be hard for that team to make a bowl.
Yeah, both of these teams understand they're at the bottom of the East Division for some reason. It's been a season of mistakes and missed opportunities. They realize if they don't get it cleaned up in a hurry, the chance of going to a postseason bowl bid starts to fade. So the must-win situation is starting to play in effect right now today.
They go long, wide open. Duke Calhoun down the sideline. Touchdown, Memphis.
And that's the one thing that we talked to the coaches about, and Tyler Bass was his ability, although he's a young guy, to get the ball down the field and stretch the field with the vertical passing game. And Duke Calhoun, we've talked about him. You can see his production there. The guy's got some jets. Tyler Bass does a good job of putting some air under it, letting his receiver run under it. And when he gets his hands on the football, he's got the speed to get it in the end zone. So a great design play there, well executed by Memphis's offense.
Halftime on a gorgeous Saturday afternoon at Bright House Stadium. The Memphis Tigers leading the UCF Knights by a score of 7-3. An emotional lift to end that first half on by holding Memphis to a field goal.
They finished up very well by not giving up any points after the interception, and they have played very well from the 20 to the 20. The problem has been that they've not been able to score the points when they've gotten down there. And Memphis, defensively, you can see all day, they've controlled Memphis aside from the one long pass. You can see they're harassing the quarterback defensively. All in all, it's the same old story. They're just not being able to cash in when they have the opportunity.
Probably not be the right move to make any changes right now with Calabrese, given that this is a close game.
Well, if you look at inconsistencies across college football, if there is offensively, it's typically because you're unsettled at quarterback. You don't have a guy that's consistently making good decisions and making good plays. So the teams that are constantly shoveling their quarterbacks around normally are the teams that you see are down the rankings offensively.
Second down, 12. Here comes the pressure. Long throw. Calhoun's got it at the 13-yard line and out of bounds at the 12. Boy, this guy can fly, and well delivered by Will Hudgens.
A very well thrown pass there, and there's a lot of ways that you have to throw the football as a starting quarterback, and Will Hudgens does a good job of putting air under the ball and he obviously has been playing in practice a little bit here with Duke because he knows his speed, how much air he needs to get under it, and Calhoun does a great job of running under it and make the catch for the first down.
Hudgens looking at the 5. He's got his man. Touchdown, Memphis.
I'll tell you what, you look for a spark on the offensive side, you go to the quarterback and Will Hudgens. He does a great job here of moving himself outside the pocket. He takes the snap from the shotgun, a fake toss, gets to the outside, finds his receiver there, number 11, Dejelon Farr for the touchdown, and Memphis back on top.
Second down, this Memphis defense tightening up. Open man, touchdown, UCF.
And we talked about number 43, Ricky Kay, and his opportunities. He's been a dynamic out of the backfield in the flats with a little screen pass there, and Brett Hodges goes to him again, and he's able to get it on the edge there and get it into the end zone for a touchdown. He hasn't played a lot this year, but in here today they found something they can utilize. He obviously catches the ball well out of the backfield. Brett Hodges delivers the ball to him on time so he can get it in his hands, turn the ball up the field, and get it into the end zone for the touchdown. And UCF will try to go to 2 here, go for 2 here to make it a 3-point game.
Ricky Kay now lines up at fullback, now does a little shifting. Bryn Harvey is the tailback. Hodges gets it out to Harvey. 3 defenders right there waiting for him. So we will still have a 1-point game. UCF 15, Memphis 14. Boy, what a swing of events for Bryn Harvey in this UCF offense. And now, after a low-scoring first half, both teams trading touchdowns.
And Brett Hodges here delivering the ball. When you have to put some steam on it, you have to. Ricky Kay there to get it in his hand so he can turn up the field and get it into the end zone for the touchdown. UCF now on top again. And although they haven't scored the touchdowns, Drew, you've got to like the way they responded. Memphis comes in and has a relatively easy drive to take the lead, and it's kind of one of those dogfights. And both coaches, as we talked to them this week, that's exactly what they say. It'll be a dogfight, and it certainly hasn't disappointed.
Hodges and company. Play fake. Open is Jamar Newsome, and Newsome has a UCF touchdown.
And as you see UCF take that drive down the field, that's exactly what they've talked about all year, is their ability late in game. They want to be a dominant offense. As Brett Hodges with the fake, he rolls out, he buys time, he looks for his receiver, Jamar Newsome, breaks open down the middle of the field, delivers a strike for the UCF touchdown.
Sometimes you can be a victim of your own success.
You really can. The expectations go up, and then when you don't meet that, then there's a lot of pressure from boosters and everything.
Harvey racing to the end zone for the UCF touchdown, and that caps off an unbelievable day for Bryn Harvey.
That's going to put him over the 200-yard mark, and very fitting for this game to end, first of all, with the defense stepping up and stopping Memphis, giving the UCF offense a chance to go out, and Bryn Harvey to cap it off with another touchdown and put himself over 200 yards rushing for the day. And I give a lot of credit to that offensive line and opening the holes, but Bryn Harvey is a different running back, 220 yards, over 5 yards a carry. You can't ask for much more than that young man has delivered today.